I see why I've had that Amazon gift card from Lawrence and Poncha for 9 years. You go to create an account. See, I don't have a phone. Okay. So I got an email, but you send a thing to email, then it sends it to the phone, then you got to go to the phone, then you go to the phone, then I do the thing to the phone to the dad. Dad, I go over, I pick up the thing to get the thing off dad's phone. It doesn't, but then it disappears and it goes away. And I'm like, oh shit. I see why I don't do this stuff. I see why I get anxiety from it and then just want to throw things like I did the Google free TV thing that checked this stuff out. I just grabbed it, threw it against the wall, and then threw it on the tile floor and just, oh, it felt good. It felt good to just take it and go smash, like I did with the PlayStation in Santa Fe. When I was sitting there doing this stuff in the PlayStation, and I got mad because I just wasn't focusing enough on the kids, but I needed an aspect of my life that I had an aspect of control over because, Amy was always cheating so much and made our lives just horrible. And it's just terrible, and I think it's okay the video gaming thing as long as it's not done in a creepy manner to have people do things excessively and compulsively thing. It can be very healthy. It can be like, you just have a fantasy world, like Corey with painting. It's your dress, make it any color you want. And so it's it's your football team. They make rules, and a lot of the things are very sadistic. And then you tell yourself if you don't follow the sadistic rules, you're not any good. And it's like, well, you could make things to make it more fun and more competitive, but then just adjust it to where it's fun for you. It's your dress, make it any way you want, right? And then last night I was sitting there the other night, I watched, who was it? Midwestern State and Sal Ross on TV, football game and stuff. And in the very near future, they're basically just going to be their university, a club team. You get together. It's the school things are more like a club. You get together, you share information, and you hang out in your neighborhood. If they have the club, if you want to join the club, you go down there and you go to the club, and then you share information, you do education, and then you can help other people do that. Stuff. The phones are manipulation through indoctrination through economics, which is being obliterated from the face of the planet by quantum computing and AGI, being used by myself. It says so in all the stories in the books that is the focal point is Earl, the guy like Jesus, and I have to obliterate economics because economics is rape, murder, death. It's horrible, right? And so, and I was sitting there watching this stuff on the president last night, and even their own people, will sit there and say he put gold all over the White House, and he's having people pick out the new tiles, and he's buying all this big opulent stuff and this is taxpayer money. Okay, he's not paying for it with his money. Okay, he's paying for it with your money. And these people are these, we're frugal and we save and this and that. We don't spend lots of money. Those liberals, they spend all kinds of money. It's like he's making the White House opulent with Baroque. Okay. Okay. So obviously, neither one of you, and then the liberals are supposed to be the protecting, sweet, kind, turn the other cheek, love, love, love people and all that stuff. And so far, they murdered Charlie Kirk. Who else have they murdered? Lots of ICE agents. Tons of ICE agents. Okay. They go out and they get in commando things and they murder people. And they're supposed to be the kind, one tin soldier rides away, bum, 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 bum. And you're like just watching these people and you're just like, no, they're all just insane and broken. And that's why Earl fixes their technology. Hi, I'm Earl. Okay, Earl. The Messiah during the apocalypse. And so, I know I have to do this. Last night I watched the thing, and then I watched it again this morning with Jennifer Lopez on the Howard Stern show. And she talks about stuff, that these guys didn't know how to love, and you got to love yourself. And it's like, what do you mean? Are you living the Lord's Prayer? Have you stood up for the Lord's Prayer a day in your life? Okay, then how the fuck do you know what love is? You've been loved, but okay, Jesus is a comic book fucking character from the Vatican. Son of a bitch. Right? So you like sitting there, these people, and they talk earnestly about it. But my family does the same thing. And then if I try to talk intelligent to me, they glare at me and tell me I'm an egomaniac and I'm saying I'm God. And I'm like, no, technically you are. Well, because if you mathematically equate the conversation we're having, I say, I believe in God and have faith in God that Jesus Christ gave us, that God's omniscient and omnipotent, and Jesus is the eternal spirit of a Father that gave us that faith. I believe I'm like Jesus. No, you're not. Jesus is God. Okay. I believe God is omniscient and omnipotent, and Jesus is the eternal faithful Father, spirit of the eternal. And they keep telling me, no, Jesus is God. And I'm like, you do understand that you're the egomaniac that's saying you're God, and that I'm the humble one saying that I'm the spirit of the humble man that says we should have faith in omniscient, omnipotent God and not a human being that is God. You do understand that you, in fact, are the one that's egomaniac who thinks that you are God. Okay. Trust me, quantum computing and artificial general intelligence understands it. Okay. Trust me. Trust me. I love you. And you're like, well, because it's math. Okay. If you have two people in a conversation, one says they're God, the other says they're not God, and the other that says they're God keeps telling the other one he's an egomaniac because he thinks he's God, you're like, no, I never said I was God. I said God's omniscient, omnipotent essence of all existence. I said, I'm the one like Jesus who gave us faith in God. No, you're not. Jesus is God, and you're Jesus. Right, okay. And that's what they say. And you're like, no, you're the one who's saying that Jesus is God and that you're Jesus. I never said I was Jesus. I said I was Earl. Said me and Jesus have the same spirit. All life's eternal and grace is infinite. Okay, God's omniscient, omnipotent. I'm the man on planet Earth who is most like Jesus Christ. No, no, you are and you're God, and when you're ready to destroy the world and take everybody to a magic place in your head, you'll let us know. Right? Son of a bitch, I feel like I'm on the Howard Stern show, and I'm making lots of money to pay my bills, right? Son of a bitch. Which we have the other kid, the British kid. I think it'd sound better if I went and the Bartlett kid interviewed me because he has a British accent and would sound more intelligent talking like this than talking like I was, to Howard Stern. Everybody, no one would take it seriously. They'd all go, oh, wait, this guy's just pissed off and arrogant, and Howard Stern's an idiot. Well, I agree. I'm pissed off. And wait, am I arrogant or ignorant? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm sorry, I was talking to Howard Stern. He's confused. Well, he's talking to Jennifer Lopez, She turned down an Academy Award for Unfaithful. That was a horrible movie. I saw the movie. It's terrible. Especially the scene where the woman's having an orgasm on the train. It's like, okay. Well, that's just... No, find a room. Get a room. Stop having sex in public bathrooms with crazy French guys. Get a room, right? I wouldn't have taken the movie. I'd been like Halle Berry with Monsters Ball. Or not Halle Berry. The other girl, Angie Bassett with Monsters Ball. No, I don't want to do that. I feel uncomfortable doing that. Angie Bassett's, she's had, like, where she kisses Eddie Murphy, okay? But it doesn't turn into a graphic sex scene. And she's never been in a movie with a graphic sex scene. She didn't take the Monsters Ball. She got offered, I was told, Monsters Ball, but she turned it down because she didn't want that graphic sex scene with Billy Bob Thornton. But she didn't even have that graphic sex scene with Eddie Murphy or, Lawrence Fishburne or whatever. No, he allegedly rapes her on What's Love Got to Do with It, but the scene is not graphic. Okay? You don't see her butt, and you don't see her, her breastises, and you don't see his genitalia, and you don't see his butt, and it's not like on Monsters Ball. Okay, it's a rape scene, and it's difficult to look at. Okay, but it doesn't have the graphic details. It just has you see why she punched him in the limo, right? Okay, hit him again, and you all say that. I said it when I watched the movie. Hit him again, Tina. Okay. Hit him one more time. Knock his teeth the fuck out, right? And Earl, it cuts both ways. Yes, when you guys are not living the Lord's Prayer, everything cuts both ways. Okay? That's why I'm the sword. And you guys are the slicing the razors into whatever. You guys are, you know, like going down a 10-foot razor blade with a barrel of alcohol between your legs. That's you guys. Living as dangerous as dinosaur, right? Sure, it makes you feel nervous, but it makes you feel all right. No, no, I hate that shit. I hate, oh shit, I could die at any moment and stuff like that. I hate that kind of thought process. I like watching a guy like Spanish Lullaby, Marty Robbins. There you go. And in order to do that, you got to do things right. And so, yeah, well, I'll try again tomorrow on the Amazon thing to get the things for the stuff with the connecting to the technology for the time being. I'll just, exercise, sleep and exercise. How I'm breathing and what's in my air is not my concern. That's the Pentagon's concern. Um, um, how I'm treated, how I feel, how I emotionally feel. I'm going to react to the abuse that I'm given, and I'm going to react as intelligently and faithfully and rationally as I possibly can, given the disgusting conditions of the Pentagon's dog factory that I'm in. Um, uh, you guys baffle the fucking hell out of me. You all baffle the fucking hell out of me. Every last one of you. No, Jasmine Crockett doesn't baffle me any more than the Bondi or Levitt, the Pam Bondi or Carolyn Levitt. They don't baffle me any more than the other. They're all about the same. It's like, they're still fucking talking. Yes. Why? They do know money's not real, right? Right. People, money's real. No, it's not. Look, okay, grab some Monopoly money and go to the store and try to come back home with something that you purchased. Okay. Did you get no, right? Okay. So then money's not real, right? That's Monopoly money. I know. What? Okay. Look. Go to a tree and pull off a pear or an apple or, oh, got to pull off the pomegranates. Pull off the pomegranates. See if the tree asks you for money. Okay. Take a drink from the faucet and see if the faucet says, that'll be a quarter, son of a bitch, or I'll kill you in your sleep. Right? Do you understand? Money's not real. Okay. God damn. I have to make a graphic novel with the. Okay, look, guys. Shit. I just didn't want to talk this morning. I was in a mood. I'm just irritated and pissed, But I'm getting good at being irritated and pissed without it physically and mentally and emotionally just stressing the hell out of me. I don't want to. You don't want to be good at it because it's wrong. And they had all these science projects. Like you don't want to get me to the point where like I'm calm with the biker in Phoenix and the KKK and cruises and no. You don't want to get me to that point. You don't want to push me to the point where I'm laying my groceries down so the two trained cage fighting rapists can't get near Natalie and mess with Katie's groceries. You don't want to get me to that point where I'm that calm. Because then what's coming next is, okay, your cameras don't work and your scientists at Fort Huachuca don't work. Well, I'll fix it. And it's going to be your technology that does it. It's not going to be me. I'll just sit here and go, okay, how much stuff did Mr. Lucky make? I don't think your helicopters are going to do any good. Well, something this big can take your helicopter and make it go. And then we don't have to tolerate you murderers in helicopters flying over anymore. Hey, it's Josh Brolin. Hey, that's Barbara Streisand's adopted son, or through marriage, through, finances. Okay. I love you. Hopefully they have a good relationship. Do you care? I care about lots of good things. I don't care about stupidity, though.